Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video. In the last one we started setting up our combat component where we are setting up our attack montages. So far we have this, where we can actually attack in a combo and it's replicating with prediction and everything. So what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna add some input rotation to it as well, so that we can actually move in the direction that we are attacking. So we need to set up some stuff for that. I'm gonna need to cheat for this one because I need to look at my other project how I did it, because I don't know it in my head, but let's just get into it. We're gonna make a new structure. S movement vector. Just gonna add two floats to it. X, Y. That's the first thing we need. So we can't really do everything in a component because some things actually needs the character input as well. So in this one here, we're gonna do call set movement vector, and the input will be of input type of the struct we just made. S movement vector. It's possible this already exists somewhere in the engine. I don't know if you need to expose it, but this is how I do it. So we're gonna add a variable in here, call it current movement vector. And call set movement vector. So we can use the interface we just made to get the movement vector. Perfect. And then we will add a new function called get character movement direction. This will output a rotator, I believe. Let's do, actually it should output a vector. So right vector forward. Right vector and forward vector. So get control rotation, get player controller. This will happen locally, so that's fine. Get control rotation. We are gonna split it, get the C to make rotator. From this one here, we're gonna get right vector and get forward vector. So the right vector goes to the right and the forward vector goes to the forward. That's our first little helper function. We're gonna do, no, not the graph. We're gonna do another function called get input rotation. This will output a rotator. And now in this one, we will grab our owning character. We will get actor location. And we're gonna grab this function we just made, this one, make this a pure function. We are gonna get the forward vector. Let's start with that one. Gonna get this current movement vector. Split it. And the X will go to the forward. And the Y will go to the right. Actually, is it the other way around? I don't know. We'll try it. We'll see. Then we will, from here, we will add them all together. And we're gonna get the actor location, do find look at rotation. This is a bit hard to explain, but basically we want the input direction of our movement keys in relation to the way we are looking. See what I mean? And this is to attack freely in whichever direction we want. We will probably also set it up so that we can attack with a crosshair and attack in the crosshair direction, and also probably, I don't know, maybe set up so that we can actually not use root motion and attack in the direction we want to as well. But this is fine for now. Let me just double check in my other project. I feel that X is forward, so right is using the X. Okay, right uses X, forward uses Y. There we go. Perfect. Now from here we will, that's fine, we just want to set this actually so that we have it. And let's just see if it works. Let's just try it on the client first, like single player. We can choose this maybe. Like usually I do this in CPP and then I would do it with a timeline to move over the timeline, but we can't put timelines in components in blueprints. No, we still can't. So we need to do it either by smoothly interpolating over the tick, or I feel like since this can probably do the same, so let's try using the move component too. So we're gonna get the owning character, we're gonna get capsule component. And I'm not sure how this intervenes with the motion matching, we will see. I'm gonna get the input rotation. Actually, we should also break and make vector in here to make sure we're only getting the C. No, doesn't matter. We're gonna split this one, because we only want to rotate on the C axis. For the other ones, we won't. We're gonna get the actor rotation, and we want to keep the actor rotation for the other ones. Then we actually need to set this one. So here is where we can't really fully rely on the component. So we're gonna go in here, find our movement. Actually, since this component is already here, we don't need the interface call, but call set vector. Break. There we go. So we get this action value here. We set the X and we set the Y. So whenever we are moving, we're gonna set this variable in the component here. Let's see if that works. I feel like there's something I forgot, but we will see. It's kind of working. Ah, I know what's the issues. Because we're setting the location here to 0, so okay, this might not be ideal because now we might stop the root motion to move forward, I just realized. Yeah, so since we're setting the actual location back to the character locations, so we are interfering with the root motion instead. But you can see we are attacking in the direction, so at least that is working. Looking good. So, let me just figure out a better way to do this in that case. Yeah, if we don't want to dive into C++, we could use the timeline here, but as I said, I want to keep the logic in our actual component as far as I can. I'll probably do like a C++ version of it or something for the ones who are interested in it, but for now we will use the event tick, but we will optimize it as much as possible. It's not an issue if you're only doing it when you need it. So we will start by going here and do start with tick enable. We'll set to false. So when we attack, if we can attack, we're gonna set component tick enabled. And here, when input is disabled, we will also, no, sorry, when input is enabled, we will also disable the tick. We will disable the tick again. So that this is only running when we're actually rotating. So we're gonna copy the logic we had here. Bypass this. Recombine this. Promote this to a variable. Cached in put rotation. And we need to do that before we actually set the tick to be enabled as well. So on the tick, we'll set actor rotation, and we will lerp rotator. No, sorry, we will interp 2. So we will get the actor rotation and rotate towards the cached rotation. And the speed will be the delta time. And let's try with 5. Do the same here, split, split, split. We only want to use the C here, and then we want to use the current X and Y. See if that works. Better. That seems to work fine. So when I can rotate to where my input is at the start of the attack. It needs to be quicker though. Because I don't fully turn to the direction I want, so maybe 10. There we go. Oops. There we go. Now I actually turn the entire way. No, maybe a little bit more. Like 15 maybe. Let's do 30. Yep, looks good. All right. Perfect. Let's replicate it. And yeah, we're still only 18 minutes in, so let's replicate it and then be done with it. And this is gonna be easier. First, we're gonna add a custom event. That should pretty much be it, I believe. This should not be reliable because we're gonna set the, as I said, we're lerping it every frame here on tick, and doesn't matter if it skips a frame, that's fine. And we also don't want to call a reliable function on tick. That's gonna destroy our lives. So set client set owning character rotation. This will be run on owning client. For prediction, gonna input target rotation, target rotation. And we don't need to do any fancy stuff here. We're just gonna do this here. I need to sneeze, sick. So we're predicting it on the client just so we get a smooth experience on the client. Then we're gonna server set active rotation. Gonna bring this up. And let's do a function for it. Do the same thing as we did with the montages. We'll input a bool here, replicate, and then if replicate is false, we're just gonna set the rotation here. Actually, we don't need the client event at all. We could just always set the active rotation on the client like this. And if replicates is true, we're also gonna do that on the server set active rotation. Don't need the client event. So here we're gonna do advanced. I'm probably gonna call this something else than advanced when I find a good name. Want to replicate it. See if that still works. And if we go to 2 people, two standalone. And we can see it works. And if we place 3 people, so we have client to client, and everything is looking good and smooth. I'm gonna try to play with some net lag later as well, but this is fine for now. Looking good. Perfect. That's gonna be it for this one. We will keep improving it in the next video, probably add some other stuff to it as well. But that's gonna be it for this one. See you in the next one. Peace out.